In this video, we're going to go over the Sports Science Hub Core's latest dashboard, the Recovery Radar. This new module enables athletes to add pain and soreness points on a daily basis for specific body parts. It then allows coaches, physical therapists, and any other stakeholders that you may have granted access to your TeamBuildr account for to review and monitor the athlete's physical conditions. Data is collected from the athletes through the mobile app's body map and is then visualized in this dashboard where you can easily track trends, analyze severity, and identify areas that need attention. So if we take a look at the dashboard, we can see that we're first going to start by selecting a group of our athletes. So we're going to click the drop down and we're going to select all. We then have the ability to filter on which body parts we want to see. So if we click this button right here, we can choose to look at pain and soreness, or we can select one and simply look at pain or simply look at soreness. We can also choose the areas that we want to see if anything's been reported on. In this chart here, you can choose up to 3 different areas of the body, but when we get to some of our other tabs, you'll be able to look at a few more selections. We would simply click update, and then we would be able to update our findings based off of that filter. Here's where we can select what day we want to look at data for. And then it's important to note that this line graph actually allows us to also look at a 7-day or a 28-day view. If we scroll over to this side, we can see the body map itself. So we can see those 3 areas that have been selected. And if we hold over our mouse over the body part, we can see the number of athletes that have reported something on these areas. You'll see down below that we have a little notification that's popped up that says we have 2 athletes that we need to review. So we're going to dismiss that for right now, but we'll circle back to that. Again, staying over on this body heat map, we can see that we have the front of the body and then we can toggle to the back of the body. And then if we scroll down, we can take a look at a couple of more statistics. So over here, we can see the number of athletes that reported for these body parts or these sections of the body for this day. This box shows us the average severity, so it's the true average across all of the reported areas in this group for the day that's been selected. And then again, here we can see the number of athletes that we have to review because this is the number of athletes that reported threshold values for this given day. If we scroll down further, we can see the areas that have been selected. We can see what was reported from the day that it was reported, the 7-day average, and then the percentage change based on that 7-day average. And then we can also look at the severity as well. Now, in order for an athlete to input their data, they actually have a body map that they can find in the dashboard of their app. And there's a subsequent video that we have that will show you what that looks like and how the athlete can actually report that through the body heat map. Up at the top over here, we have a couple of tabs inside of this dashboard. So the first one being our settings tab. So if we click this, we have the ability to toggle on and off whether or not we want the athletes to include the region and the status for their pain and their soreness. So region refers to the location of the pain or the soreness, and status is the athlete's current injury status for that area. Looking over at the group analysis tab, this gives us a detailed table of individual pain and soreness reports for the selected group of athletes and the date. So we can see as we scroll down, we can see the athlete, we can see the areas that the athlete has selected, and we can see the severity at which they chose their selection. We can also see a 28-day average for that body part, and we can see any change. We can also see the region or the status of that area and any notes if the athlete chose to include them or not. We have the ability to download this chart to our computer simply by clicking this button right here. And then some other features up at the top, we can choose to hit the filter button and we can choose to look at all of the athletes, any of our specific alerts only. So if we click on alerts, we'll be able to see the 2 athletes that were, again, out of that threshold. Now, if we want to dig a little deeper in this, we can either click the athlete history tab, or we can select the athlete themselves, and that will take us over to the athlete history tab. This gives an even more detailed look of the individual athlete's pain and soreness data over time. So that top section, again, is going to show us the body heat map. We're going to see where the athlete has reported pain or soreness, and then if we toggle over that area, we can see the level in which they reported for that day. If we scroll down, we can then see the areas selected table, which lists the reported pain and soreness points, along with the severity, the 28-day average, percentage change, again, the region, the status, and any other notes that the athlete may have listed. And then even further, we can also see that 28-day history, which tracks all of the reported pain and soreness points for the athletes during that time. So this just gives you a really nice, clean, comprehensive overview of what the athlete has reported and what you may or may not need to be aware of for their physical readiness. And this is how you're able to take a look at all of the data being collected from all of your athletes based on their pain and their soreness and how they're feeling for that day. And if you have any other questions, please feel free to email us at support@teambuildr.com.